enemy is committing its huge mothership to this theater. They are growing desperate. Eliminate the mothership and naval mobility tripled. There are no reference points on the ocean. Pay attention to the operation. Target mothership. Despite the elimination of all fuel refineries, the enemy continues to conduct operations. You are assigned to recon for undetected fuel supplies. Even though this is just recon, engage and eliminate any opposition patrols. Good hunting. Operation.
Ready? Break now! Enemy target located. Enemy locked on target. Ryan, focus on our 6. On our right.
Caution.
Pull out of it.
Engine stalled.
Up ahead. Enemy inside. Focus on our tail. On our left. Great shot. Focus on our 6. Take off. Enemy target located.
Caution.
Enemy in sight. Up ahead. Focus on our 6. Focus at 12 o'clock. Take off. Let's return to mission, buddy. I'm losing him. Enemy target located. Up ahead. On our left. Focus on our 6. Focus on our tail. Take off.
Caution.
Enemy target located.
Caution.
On our right. On our right.
Caution.
Focus on our 6. Take off. I'm losing him. Enemy in sight. Enemy target located. Enemy locked on target.
Caution.
On our left. Altitude too low. Flying. Focus on our 6. On our left. Take off. Focus on our tail. Enemy target located. Enemy target located. On our right. Up ahead.
Caution.
On our left. Focus on our altitude too low.
Caution.
Flying.
Alert. Body damage.
Focus on our
Alert.
tail.
Body damage.
On our right.
Alert.
Take off.
Body damage. Alert. Body
Focus on our
damage.
tail.
Alert.
On our
Body
left.
damage.
Enemy in. Up ahead. Enemy locked on target. Focus at 12 o'clock. Altitude too low. Flying.
Caution.
Focus on our tail. On our left. Up ahead. Enemy in sight. On our left. Focus at 12 o'clock. On our right. On our right. Focus on our 6. Enemy target located.
Caution.
Pull out of it. Focus at 12 o'clock. Enemy in sight. Focus at 12 o'clock. Focus on our tail. Altitude too low. Flying. Focus on our tail. Take off. I'm losing him. Wingman has been hit. Let's return to mission, buddy. Bogey on our 6. I'm losing him. Enemy targets located. Enemy targets located. On our right. Bogey on our 6. On our left. Up ahead. On our left. Bogey on our 6. On our left. Bogey on our 6. Bogey on our tail. On our left. Bogey on our 6. Bingo! Take off. Enemy targets located. Up ahead! Enemy locked on target. Fire! Shoot it down! Bogey on our 6. Enemy targets located. On our right! Enemy locked on us. Up ahead! Missile approaching. Dive! Dive!
Caution.
On our right! Altitude too low. Climb! Bogey on our 6. Bogey on our 6. On our left. Bogey on our 6. Fire! Shoot it down! On our right. Enemy in sight. Up ahead. Enemy locked on target. Fire! Shoot it down! Bingo! Here! Toast! On our left. Bogey on our 6. Take off! Enemy targets located. Altitude too low. Climb!
Caution.
Enemy in
Low
sight.
altitude.
Altitude
Caution.
too low. Climb! Altitude too low. Climb!
Caution.
Bogey on our tail! On our right! Enemy in sight. On our left! Bogey on our 6.
Caution.
Take off! I'm losing him! Enemy target located. And up ahead! On our right! Enemy locked up. Altitude too low. Climb!
Caution.
Up ahead! Take off! Bogey on our tail! On our left! Let's return to mission, buddy! Enemy in sight. Up ahead! On our right! Bogey on our 6. Altitude too low. Climb!
Caution.
Take off!
Low altitude.
On our
Caution.
altitude too low. Climb! On our left! Let's up ahead! Enemy in sight. Bogey on our tail! Enemy targets located. Bogey on our tail! Enemy on our left! Up ahead! Bogey on our tail! Bogey on our 6.
Caution.
Stall! Pull out of it!
Engine stalled.
Bogey on our 6. Enemy locked on target. Bogey on our 6. Take off! Up ahead! Altitude too low. Climb! Enemy in sight. Enemy in sight. Fire! Shoot it down! Enemy target located. Bogey on our tail! I'm losing him! Let's return to mission, buddy! Enemy target located. Enemy target located. Enemy up ahead! Enemy locked on target. Fire! Shoot him down! Enemy in sight. Enemy in sight. Fire! Shoot him down! Bingo! Yahoo! Bogey on our 6. Up ahead! Enemy in sight. Fire! Shoot him dead Aqua! Enemy target located. Bogey at 12 o'clock. Bogey on our tail! On our left! Up ahead! Enemy in sight. Enemy in sight. Fire! Shoot him down! Stay with him. Don't let him get away. Hit that one! Enemy target located. Up ahead! Enemy in sight. On our right! Altitude too low. Climb!
Caution.
Enemy locked on
Low
target.
altitude.
Great shot! Enemy target located. Bogey on our 6. Bogey on our tail. Take off. Up ahead. Altitude too low. Climb.
Caution.
Enemy in sight.
Low altitude.
Altitude
Caution.
too low.
Warning.
Bogey on our 6. Enemy target located. On our right. Enemy in up ahead. Enemy in sight. Bogey on our 6. Take off. On our right. Altitude too low. Climb.
Warning.
Mission accomplished.
Despite the elimination of all fuel refineries, the enemy continues to conduct operations. You are assigned to recon for undetected fuel supplies. Even though this is just recon, engage and eliminate any opposition patrols. Good hunting. Operation 16 Breakaway. Unidentified enemy units approaching. Break away immediately. Our recon work has identified the last fuel depot. Go and bomb it flat. Target: a group of fuel production bases. The enemy is using its top guns in this theater. Focused. Good hunting. Our offensive operations are concentrated on the Sicilian Island fortress. The base itself is a hard nut to crack. We'll isolate it by eliminating its bridge and central runway. Target: red suspension bridge to the island and its airspace. There will be plenty of ACAC and SAM defenses around the runway. Go in for one pass, then break off operations. The enemy is on his last legs. One more strike, lay him out. Take your unit through the ravine to the enemy headquarters. Intelligence is sketchy on force composition near the headquarters, so keep on your toes. Fly low on your way in. Everything above the ravine is a SAM kill zone. Urgent message. Enemy giant airborne fortress discovered. This may be your final task. Eliminate it before it reaches our airspace. Good luck.
Ready? Right now! Enemy target located. Bogey at 12 o'clock. Enemy locked on target. Bogey on our tail. Bogey on our 6. On our right. Enemy in sight. Bogey on our 6. Enemy in sight. Up ahead! Bogey on our 6. Take off! Fire! Shoot at that bridge! Shot! Bogey on our tail! Bogey on our tail!
Caution.
Pull out of it!
Engine stalled.
Bogey on our 6. Up ahead! Enemy locked on target. Fire! Shoot his windows! Yahoo! Bogey on our tail! Up ahead! Bogey on our 6. Bogey on our tail! Take off! Enemy in sight. Bogey on our 6. Enemy in... On our left! On our right! Bogey on our tail! Enemy bogey on our 6. On our right. Up ahead. Fire. Shoot at Jesus. On our right. Enemy in sight. Up ahead. Enemy in sight. On our right. Up ahead. On our left. Up ahead. On our left. Enemy in sight. Up ahead. Enemy locked on target. Fire. Shoot it down. On our left. On our right. Bogey on our 6. On our left. Bogey on our 6. Up ahead. Take off. Fire. Shoot it down. Up ahead. Enemy target located.
Warning.
Locked on us.
Warning. Warning.
Missile approaching. Dive. Dive.
Caution.
Enemy in sight. Bogey on our
Warning.
6. Bogey on our tail. On our left. Bogey on our 6. Enemy in sight. Bogey on our tail. Up ahead. Bogey on our 6. Enemy in sight. Enemy locked on target. Fire. Shoot it down. Bogey on our 6. On our right. Bogey on our 6. Take off. I'm losing him. Let's return to mission, buddy. Enemy target located. Enemy in sight. Fire up ahead. On our right. Up ahead! Fire! Shoot him down! Bogey on our 6. Enemy in sight. Fire! Shoot him through! Enemy target located. Up ahead! Enemy in sight. Enemy in sight. Fire! Shoot him down! Jesus, miss! Enemy in sight. Fire! Shoot him down! They blew him away! Mission accomplished.
Our recon work has identified the last fuel depot. Go and bomb it flat. Target: a group of fuel production bases. The enemy is using its top guns in this theater. Keep focused and good hunting. Our offensive operations are concentrated on the European island. The bases
Ready? Break now! Enemy in sight. Enemy target located. Enemy locked on target. Altitude too low. Climb! On our left. Bogey on our 6. Bingo! Yahoo! Up ahead! Take off! On our left! Bogey on our tail! Up ahead! Altitude too low! Climb! I'm losing him! Enemy target located! Enemy target located! Wingman has been hit! Altitude too low! Climb! Jesus, miss! Bogey on our 6. Enemy in sight. Enemy target located. Altitude too low. Climb!
Caution.
Bogey at 12
Low
o'clock.
altitude. Alert body damage. Alert
Bogey
body
on our 6.
damage. Alert body
Let's
damage.
return to mission
Alert
on our
body
right.
damage.
Altitude too
Alert
low.
body
Climb!
damage.
I'm losing him! Enemy target located. Enemy locked on bogey at 12 o'clock. On our right. Bogey on our 6. On our left. Bogey on our tail. Enemy target located. Altitude too low. Climb! Enemy target located. And missile approaching. Dive! Right!
One.
Locked on target. Fire that one! Hold me on our 6. Take off! I'm losing him! I'm losing him! Enemy in sight. Enemy targets located. Jesus, miss! On our right! Enemy locked on, open on our 6. Altitude too low, flying!
Caution. Low
Take off.
altitude.
On our left! Up ahead! Enemy locked on target. Fire! Shoot him away! Enemy locked on altitude too low, flying!
Caution.
Bingo!
Low
Yeah!
altitude.
Altitude
Caution.
too low, flying!
Low altitude. Caution.
Bingo! Yeah! Altitude too low, flying! Let's return to mission, buddy! Altitude too low, flying! Enemy in sight. Enemy locked on target. Altitude too low, flying!
Caution.
Enemy target located. Bogey at 12 o'clock. Bogey on our 6. Enemy target located. Altitude too low, flying!
Alert body
Ahead!
damage. Alert body damage. Alert body damage. Alert body damage. Alert body damage.
Let's return to mission, buddy! Up ahead! On our left! Bogey on our tail! Enemy locked on target. Enemy target located. Enemy locked on target. Bingo! Yeah!
Alert body
Bogey on our
damage.
6.
Alert body damage.
Enemy target located.
Alert body damage.
Take off!
Alert body damage. Alert body damage.
Up ahead! Bogey on our 6. Enemy target located. Mission accomplished.
Our offensive operations are concentrated on the Spin Island fortress. The base itself is a hard nut to crack, but we'll isolate by eliminating its bridge and central runway. Target, red suspension bridge to the island and its air base. There will be plenty of ack and SAM defenses around the runway. Go in for one pass, then break off operations. The enemy is on his last legs. One more strike, lay him out. Take your unit through the ravine to the enemy headquarters. Enter position near the headquarters.
targets located.
Warning.
Enemy locked on target.
Warning.
Bogey on our 6. On our right.
Warning.
Bogey at 12 o'clock. Enemy in sight. Bogey on our 6.
Alert, body damage. Alert, body damage.
Take off.
Alert, body damage. Alert, body damage. Alert, body damage.
I'm losing him. I'm losing him. Enemy in sight. Enemy target located. Altitude too low. Flying.
Caution,
I'm
alert,
hit.
body
I'm hit.
damage. Alert, body damage. Alert, body damage. Alert, body damage. Alert, body damage.
Up ahead. Enemy locked on target. Fire. Shoot him down. Jesus. Bogey on our tail. On our left. Up ahead. Enemy locked on target. Fire. Shoot him down. He's wasted. Enemy in sight. Enemy locked on target.
Alert,
Too low.
body
Fly.
damage. Alert, body damage. Alert, body damage.
Too low. Fly.
Alert, body damage. Alert, body
Too
damage.
low. Fly.
Caution,
Altitude too low.
low
Fly.
altitude. Caution,
Bogey on our tail. And a take off. Enemy in sight. Enemy locked. Enemy target located. I'm
alert,
hit. I'm
body
hit.
damage. Alert, body damage.
Enemy locked on
Alert,
target.
body damage. Alert,
Bingo!
body damage.
Woohoo!
Alert, body damage.
Enemy locked on our left. Great shot. Great shot. Up ahead. Altitude too low. Climb. Bogey at 12. Altitude too low. Climb.
Caution,
Great. Bogey on our tail. Take off. Enemy in sight. Enemy altitude too low. Climb.
caution,
Enemy locked on target.
low altitude.
Bingo! Altitude too low. Climb.
Low altitude.
On our left. Take off. On our left. Wingman has been hit. Enemy in sight. Up ahead. On our left. Bogey on our 6. Altitude too low.
Caution.
Climb. Take off. Bogey on our 6. Enemy target located.
Caution,
Pull out of it.
engine stalled. Caution,
Up ahead. Enemy in sight. Bogey on our 6. And up ahead. On our right. Bogey on our tail. Up ahead.
caution,
Mission accomplished.
The enemy is on his last legs. One more strike, aim out. Take your unit through the ravine to the enemy headquarters. Intelligence is sketchy on force composition near the headquarters, so keep on your toes. Fly low on your way in. Everything above the ravine is a SAM kill zone. Urgent message. Enemy giant airborne fortress discovered. This may be your final task. Eliminate it before it reaches our airspace. Good luck.
Ready? Break now! Enemy targets located. Enemy in sight. Enemy locked on target. Fire! Shoot it down! Blew him away! Enemy targets located. Altitude too low. Climb! Enemy in sight. Enemy in sight. Fight! Enemy targets located. Up ahead! Enemy in sight. Enemy locked on target. Fire! Shoot it down! Back one! Enemy targets located. Enemy locked on target. Fire! Shoot it down! Back one! Enemy target located. Enemy in sight. Fire! Shoot it down! Bogey on our tail! On our right! Bogey on our tail! I'm losing him! Mission accomplished.
Urgent message. Enemy giant airborne fortress discovered. This may be your final task. Eliminate it before it reaches our airspace. Good luck.
Ready? Break now! Enemy target located. Enemy locked on target. On our right! Bogey on our tail!
Caution.
On our left! Enemy in sight.
Caution. Caution. Caution.
Bogey on our tail! Jesus, miss!
Caution.
Enemy target located. Enemy in sight. Enemy in sight. Enemy locked on target. Great shot! Bingo! Yahoo!
Caution.
Bingo! Yahoo! Great shot!
Caution.
Bingo! Yahoo!
Caution.
Great shot!
Caution.
Enemy locked on target. Bingo!
Caution.
Yahoo! Great shot!
Caution. Caution. Alert. Body
Damage.
damage. Alert. Body damage. Alert.
Bingo!
Body damage.
Yahoo!
Alert. Body damage. Alert. Body damage.
Bogey on our 6. Take off! Enemy target located. On our right. Up ahead. Bogey on our 6. Chief, take off! On our right.
Alert. Body
Ahead.
damage. Alert.
Bingo!
Body damage.
Yahoo!
Alert. Body damage. Alert. Body
Great
damage.
shot! Bogey on our 6.
Alert. Body damage.